Hello Bookish Babes, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so very glad that you guys clicked on today's video to join me and bring you some amazing bookish content. And as you can see by today's title, I'm going to take you guys along with me for my day. I want to go book shopping, so I'm going to take you with me to Books A Million. I also want to grab some lunch somewhere. I have some random household chores I need to do, so just spend the day with me is basically what I want. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Olivia. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit your notification bell so you can be notified every single time I post a video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Join the Bookish fam because we're so nice and we have so much fun together. And without further ado, let's jump into today's day in the life, spend the day with me book shopping video. I'm on my way to Books A Million as we speak, but this morning I was able to get coffee with a friend and go on like a nice little cozy fall walk this morning. I did not get any footage just because it was really special and intimate, but we went to Desert Oasis Coffee Roasters and I got myself a matcha, and it's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. It isn't very glamorous because I've like drank almost all of it, but like it's a vibe. All right, we've made it to Books A Million. Let's go in. I always get a little bit weird filming in public, but today we're not going to be ashamed. I am a booktuber and you guys deserve content. So let's head in to the bookstore. So I'm back at it again in Books A Million. I believe this is my second time going in here, and I always like to check the little tables because I feel like they always have some really nice books on them that they may not have on the shelves that they want to feature, and so it's always good to check because you never know what you'll find. But I forgot while I was here, I'm thinking about it now as I'm editing this, but I don't really like Books A Million. I think it has to do with the setup of the books. You have, like, in this section at least, a lot of the cover showing, but in the majority of the bookstore, it's the spines, and I judge books by the cover, and so it's really hard for me to look for anything because I kind of went into the store with a plan. I kind of knew what I wanted. I was looking at, I think it is the House Switch. I'll post the picture on the screen just for something like fall related, but I can't find that anywhere. So I think I'm going to have to look on Amazon. And then I was interested in the Wishing Game, which I believe is still in hardcover. They didn't have that here either. And then there is The Red Country by Joe Abercrombie. I heard really good things about that, but again, they did not have it. And so I was trying to find something that interests me, and I saw these two psychological thrillers, and The Coworker has been on my list for a while now, but it just wasn't doing what I thought. So I was like, no, I won't get that. So I just kind of browsed and browsed. I eventually found a couple things that I thought were interesting, but didn't get them, like The Little Village of Book Lovers, just because it was 28 bucks and it was super thin, and I just didn't want to pay that type of money. But I did end up asking one of the workers at the bookstore for some help, and they gave me so many suggestions. So I started looking for those. But then I saw this book, and OMG, it looks so cute. Probably one of the prettiest books I've ever seen, and it'll be great for the winter Christmas months that are coming up. But yeah, I just kind of poked around. And then I saw Cloud Cuckoo Land. You guys, this is one of my 5-star all-time reads ever. I ended up listening to it through Audible. I highly recommend it. It's so, I don't know what it is about it, but it was amazing. Absolutely love that book. All right, now off to lunch. I decided to go to Lily's Seafood. It's one of my favorite places in Royal Oak. But the thing about this is I never go here and get seafood. I always come here to get one thing that I will show you in just a second. But I decided to dive into the not the coworker, but to dive into the Housemaid. I have been reading it and so far liking it. I am, though, feeling like I'm going to end up DNFing the book. That's definitely what I was thinking at this time as reading it, because I did get to that spot in the book where I was getting the vibes that I didn't want to get, and it was really making me anxious actually. And so even though I know now that I have DNF'd the book, Olivia sitting here reading this was definitely getting those vibes, and yeah, that's kind of how I felt. The weather has been really interesting here in Michigan. Like today was 75 degrees and super sunny, but the rest of the week previous to this was like cold and rainy and just very giving the fall vibes. But I'm loving it so far. Let me know down below if you are a fall girly, if you're into it. I'm so happy to say that it's finally fall. It just makes me feel so good inside. The pumpkin spice, the pumpkins, the lattes, like the cold walks that you can take outside with the leaves on the ground, the apple spice, the hay rides, like it's just everything I love. And reading during this time of year is just picturesque. It's just perfect, and so much joy can be brought from just simply having a coffee, grabbing a book, and literally sitting on a bench in a park in the middle of fall. But yeah, I just love it so much. And then we have that delicious Asian sesame chicken salad. Like I said, I always get this. I never actually get fish at the seafood restaurant, but you guys, it was so good. Had cucumbers and carrots and sesame seeds and this really sweet, kind of tangy glazed dressing, some crispy chicken. And I just absolutely enjoyed myself. I also got some french fries, but I feel like every time I have this salad, I'm so focused on just eating it because it's so good. I never actually eat the fries. So yeah, but honestly, it was amazing. I can't tell you enough. If you ever go to Royal Oak and you're at Lily's Seafood, get this salad. It will change your life. All right, so I just finished eating. As you guys saw, the lunch was really good. My stomach is a little bit upset because that salad was I'll walk a little further, I guess. That salad was the very first thing I ate today, and I have IBS. Let me know down in the comments if you also, but greens and veggies on an empty stomach, like fiber like that, upsets me. So I am majorly bloated right now and I feel kind of terrible, but that's okay. I'm about to go into the parking deck and get in my car, and I was able to pick up one book from Books A Million. I was a little bit disappointed going in there, and I feel like I said this the last time I went to Books A Million because it's my second time being in there. It just wasn't something that I enjoyed, so I'm going to hop over to Barnes & Noble to see if I can get the books that I really wanted to pick up, and then I'll do a little haul for you guys. And then, as you saw, I did some reading in the two books that I'm reading right now, and they're getting super, super good. So I might actually go sit and read. But I really want to do some walking, and this little neighborhood is just everything. I feel like when I do these little vlogs, I try my best to get as much footage. I might be focused on what I'm doing and I forget to film. I don't really know what to do because I'm basically just showing my day, and I don't have nothing in particular that's like really exciting. So hopefully you guys are enjoying, but I'll catch up with you in a little bit. All right, so I'm currently on a little walk. The sun is shining, it's very nice. But I just wanted to let you guys know I've taken the decision and will not be swayed but I am not going to be finishing The Housemaid. The Housemaid puts me out of rest, makes me extremely anxious, and I mentioned in my reading vlog that I just posted about it, if the book, for whatever reason, would progress with that really weird love triangle where the housemaid is like falling in love with the lady's husband. And I mentioned if that intensifies, one of you guys let me know. And I finally feel like I've gotten to a point in the book where I see it beginning. And I love psych thrillers, but this one I don't like. I don't like that vibe. I don't like reading things like that. So I will be DNFing The Housemaid. I'm really sorry about it if some of you guys wanted my opinion on the book, but that is kind of where I am leaving it. Alrighty, so I'm home now and I have 4 books here that I want to talk to you guys about. So I was able to pick up 3 of them at the bookstore while I was out shopping today, as you guys saw. And one of them I actually got from my mom last week because she went on a little sister's trip and she picked me up a book from the library that she really wants me to read. And so I'm going to read it. But I guess we can just dive right in, I guess, with that book to start. So she ended up going to the Dover Public Library in Delaware because she was visiting my aunt with one of her other sisters. and she ended up getting me Nicholas Sparks' A Bend in the Road. So she absolutely loves Nicholas Sparks. She's told me that this is one of her favorite books from him. I think one of his like most popular books that he has, and she's wanted me to read it, and so she picked up a copy and got it for me because I actually don't have a copy of it. And so I'm going to give this a read soon. I'm not really sure when, but I am excited to read it, and I'll be sure to link it down below. And then it came with a really cool, funky, very like retro themed bookmark that says Dover Public Library on it. But yeah, it's like super cute. It's definitely a vibe. And so we love a good bookmark. And so I will read that eventually, not sure when. But the 3 books that I was able to pick up freshly at the store, as you saw, I went to Books A Million first, and then I poked around Barnes & Noble. And I also went to another bookstore down in Royal Oak when I was down there having lunch, but I didn't film that just because they were really busy. And I feel like I always go into Barnes & Noble, and so I just didn't really have the desire to like film. But you saw all the Books A Million footage, and hopefully you guys got a little insight of some things that I was thinking about getting, things that I was interested but I didn't pick up, things that I wanted that I couldn't find. So to start, I guess, with Books A Million, I ended up picking up Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, and this has been on my TBR for a while now. First of all, the cover is just super cute. All right, so basically, just to give you a little background from reading the synopsis, is that we have Macy here, and she is kind of living the life that she's kind of always thought she wanted, this really ambitious life. It looks like she's a pediatric resident. She's planning a wedding to this really financially secure older man. But she definitely feels this need to kind of, like it says, keep her head down and keep her heart tucked away, keep all her ducks in a row and don't make a mistake. Well, as she's doing all this, she runs into Elliot, which happens to be the first love of her life ever when she was a teenager. They were just perfect for one another. It looks like he was her bookish friend who kind of turned into her romance, like her romantic interest, but they kind of fell out of touch. And it looks like now she is kind of maneuvering those old feelings with Elliot and how he feels with her, also with the life that she's kind of holding together. And so to me, I just thought that was perfect, and I'm really excited to read it. I'll be sure to link this one down below as well. As you guys saw, I read The Woman in the Library, which is probably my favorite book so far of 2023, and that book, as well as Attachments that I just recently finished, that's also really good. Those 2 books have, like, I wouldn't say double stories, but they have like text communication, email chains, or like just something else where you're getting in between each chapter an extra layer of communication separate from what's happening in the story, but also connect to the story. And so I really love things like that. And so when I picked up this book also has a lot of text communication in it, which I think is just really fun and it's different. And I think I just love the variety of it. So it's not every chapter, but very frequently throughout you have those kind of text communications. And so I definitely wanted to pick it up. And then I ended up really caving, because I ended up reading It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, like when it got like super popular way back when. And I really liked it. It was really emotional. I mean, definitely a lot of like trigger warning things in it. And I feel like if you're really young and not very mature, it's probably not the best book for you. But I enjoyed it. It definitely was one of those first reads that I got into when I started like reading officially and all of that. And so I really liked it, but when It Starts With Us came out, I was really hesitant, like, I don't think I'm going to get it, and I kind of decided I wasn't. Well, I walked into Barnes & Noble today, and I picked it up, because for whatever reason, when I saw it, it just called my name, and I miss Lily, and I miss Atlas, and Ryle. I just want to know what's going on with all of them, and then the little girl, the baby that they had, and so it's like, I just thought to pick it up. It's super thin compared to It Ends With Us, and so, yeah, like, barely 300 pages, and so I'm excited to dive into it and read it and see how I feel about it and if it's everything that I hoped, because I mean, It Ends With Us has a special place in my heart. Do I think I'll read it again? No. Do I recommend it? I think yes. I just like it, but I definitely think it's a lot. So I'm interested to see how this will go, but yeah, I'll link this down below as well. And the very last book, yet again, I proved myself wrong, or I'm going back on my word. I said I wasn't going to get it because I was upset because I didn't like how it looked, but I couldn't, because when I was walking in the store today, I couldn't get the main character out of my head. And when I saw the book sitting on the shelf, I thought, Olivia, humble yourself and get it. There's nothing you can do. And so I picked up book number 2 in the Throne of Glass series, A Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. And honestly, I just had to, at this point, like, I don't know. I loved book number 1. I read the prequel as well. But book number 1 was so good. It definitely ended, not, I want to say on a cliffhanger, but it ended at a spot just like the prequel did, where you knew something was going to happen, you know, because with book 1, you kind of ended with how it all played out, and Selena kind of getting that message from the king of like, you're going to do what I need you to do, and whether you like it or not, type of deal. And so automatically I was thinking, oh, what does that mean for her friends, for her relationships? And so this book definitely obviously follows right directly after. And so I had to pick it up, even though I do not like the covers. Even still, I'm going to finish this series and I'm going to learn to love it. And maybe I'll get creative one of these days and like cover the books if it's really that big of a deal for me. But I picked that up. So yes, that's going to conclude the little haul. Not too many books, but I mean, it makes a pretty decent dent when you're shopping at Barnes & Noble and Books A Million, even with the membership discount. Like, it makes a pretty decent dent to the bank account of like, I spent some money on some books today, y'all. So I'm not mad about how small the haul is, because it costs quite a little bit of money to get these, but I'm really happy. And then, as you guys saw, I was continuing to read in Behind Closed Doors. I'm loving that. That honestly might be my favorite thriller of all time, I think, because I loved Verity, Silent Patient, Coast to Coast Murders, what else? I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but I really like those. But this is definitely like up there as like, this one is like intense. I really like it. So it might honestly be at least one of my favorite reads of 2023, but definitely so far, maybe even my favorite thriller. I'm more than halfway done with that book, so I can't wait to finish it, because I'll have a book review out for you guys. I guess to keep talking about all the books that I'm currently reading, I'm reading The Cruel Prince, rather than listening to it through Audible, and I am like 75% nearly done with that book. It is so good. It was a really fast listen, so I'm assuming it would have been a fast read. I cannot wait to start book number 2. I definitely think possibly next month I might add that one on, but this is really, it's really good. I actually have it right here. It's really good. I'm definitely at that point in the book where I'm like, what the heck is happening? That's kind of how I feel, but it's okay. I'm loving it. And so, yes, I'm going to continue diving into this and finishing up Behind Closed Doors. And then the last thing that I'm thinking I might end up getting into today is The Maidens. I started like chapter 1 because I'm listening to it as well as reading it at the same time. So I'm going to continue in this. But yeah, that's probably going to conclude today's video. I was going to go to a coffee shop and read, but because I sat so long at lunch and read, I think I'm kind of going to just turn in, relax for the rest of the day and read and just have a good time here at home. Maybe go see some friends and family a little bit later. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed and that you had a fun time book shopping with me, going to lunch with me, talking about books with me, seeing this little book haul with me. And if you enjoyed it, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and hit your notification bell, because then you can be notified every single time I post a video. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, and join the Bookish Fam, because we are so nice and we have so much fun together.